Most people work for money and then just spend it. Investors, they make their money work for them. The difference between the rich and the broke isn't about how much money you make, it's about how you think about money.
If you're here right now, you're probably tired of working so hard for your money and feeling like it just disappears immediately the second you get it. Today, I'm going to teach you how investors actually think and operate with their money so you can be able to do the same.
Now, most people have a consumer mindset. They basically go and trade their time to get a paycheck just to go buy pointless stuff. Investors, though, they think completely different. They're gonna think every time they spend money, is it gonna make them money or is it gonna just cost them money? And that is a complete difference between investors and people that just spend money.
Just like you, when I started making money, I had a choice. I could have chose to keep up with the Joneses. I could have lived above my means. I could have traveled the world. I could have bought designer, luxury items. But instead, I chose to take a risk in educating myself, learning how to invest and be able to make my money multiply and make more than what I had. So anytime that I had money and I put it out, I always thought, would this dollar be able to multiply if I put it into this vehicle? And if you don't do that, you will never be able to get ahead. You will always be in the rat race. You will never get ahead with the mindset of just spending and never making money. And that's the one thing that I really want you guys to be able to take away from this entire video. If you don't learn anything at all, is to invest your money into things that will be able to make you another return on top of the money you put in. The moment you decide to start investing is the moment that you will change your life. The second you decide to start putting your money in areas and vehicles that can be able to give you a higher return than what you put in is when you will be able to experience a better quality of living.
Basically, an investor's goal is very simple. It's to own assets that will create money for their pockets. And that's why I love being an investor, because whether it's real estate, stocks, buying businesses, or anything that creates cash flow, it ultimately helps me grow my wealth over time.
So moving forward, I want you guys to start thinking deeper. If you were to buy something, I want you to do a test. Will this item, this thing that I'm going to buy, will it make me more money? Will it help multiply my money? If the answer is no, and you're not in the position or the place that you want to be, you shouldn't be buying that item, period.
Most people want fast money, but real investors are thinking so far ahead. They're thinking about 10, 20 years ahead of whatever you're thinking about. That's why the wealthy people move the way they do, because they're thinking about the future, not just today.
So I really need you to ask yourself, would you rather invest in yourself now and be extremely rich later? Or would you rather just not invest, have the money that you're making right now, and live a good, whatever life you're living right now? For me, I told myself that the things that I wanted, I could wait. I am all about delayed gratification. I could have been instant. I could have wanted to go out and do crazy things, buy all the things I want. But I told myself, what is it when I could have one of them and in the future I could have 10 of them? And for me, money is way deeper than just my personal life. I knew that if I were to invest, that I could be able to do more for not just myself, but the people around me. And so many things that making money and being able to invest can help change lives around you and whatever your ultimate goals are. For me, I want to be able to impact the people around me, not just myself. And for being able to invest is something that I get to experience when doing that. And even more crazy, like I have friends that have had a lot of money and now they don't have it. And the main reason why is because as quick as they made that money, it was as quick as they spent it. And if you are out here just spending your money frivolously, however you may see fit, you're going to lose your money too. You have to be able to diversify your income. You have to be able to invest in the things that you want into different vehicles and make sure that money is always working for you. You shouldn't be working so hard to make money. That money should be always working hard for you.
Wealthy people don't even use their own money. They use OPM, other people's money. So while you're over here thinking, oh, I need all this money to do these things, no, you don't. They literally buy cash flowing assets by borrowing money, and then they use those assets to pay off the debt. That is the game.
And if you're one of those people that are always like, oh, I want to invest, but I don't have enough, I haven't saved enough money, you already have a wrong mindset. There's no set amount of money that you need to start investing. It's a mindset thing. It starts with the mind. I started out with $4,000, and for some people, maybe 4,000 is a lot. However, I could have duplicated that exact same process with $500. The point is getting started with whatever you have and whatever you can put into something, into the bigger picture. I want you guys to actually think about, what can you do? Can you invest into a long-term investment? Can you be able to structure a deal? You want to start shifting your mindset to thinking about how you can invest. And more importantly, think how an investor thinks. Think about that opportunity as, is it a good situation? Am I going to put my money into it and lose it? Am I going to put my money into this and be able to see more? Like, what is the situation? And you really use that to be able to determine if you should be able to make that investment. If you're thinking about buying some new shoes this weekend, maybe reconsider and say, you know what, maybe I should invest into that stock and actually put my money into that instead of buying the shoe and have the dividends pay for my shoe later down the road. You want to start thinking like an investor. Investors don't just buy these products, they invest. And as I talk about dividends, I'm definitely a dividend girly. I always commit to at least investing 10 to 15% of any money that I make every single month into my dividend portfolio. Now, granted, I want to be able to do more than that, but again, something is better than nothing. Like, I have personal goals. I want to eventually get to my dividend portfolio to $1 million. It's going to take time, but I know that me taking small steps every day will get me to that end goal. And that's how you should think. You shouldn't have to think like, I have to have it all figured out today. I need to have $100,000 to invest today. You can literally take small actions and start improving to get to the end goal of where you're trying to go.
Net worth is a flex. Cash flow is freedom. Investors focus on income producing assets, not just by being rich on paper.
So if your investments aren't paying you every single month, you're doing this all wrong. I would only focus on passive investments that will generate income to ultimately buy you freedom. The goal is to get to that end opportunity to be able to do whatever you want. I don't know about you guys, but I want to wake up whenever I want. I want to stay up till as long as I want. I want to be able to do anything I want wherever I want. I don't want to be restrained to anything. And for me, I've been living that life since 2014. My last 9 to 5 was then, and I've been an entrepreneur since. But more importantly, I've got into the investment world around 2019, and I haven't looked back since. And if you want to change your life, I'm going to just keep telling you that. I want to scream it on top of the world that you should be investing. You should be thinking about vehicles that you can start doing and opportunities. Just start talking all things money, and you will notice you start generating and just being around things and people that are actually moving with money. For me, I put myself into environments where people are talking about the deals they're doing. Again, you want to learn how to structure deals. And for me, it's like, if you're, depending on the type of people you're around or your ecosystem, you might need to change it up because you don't even know where to start, but you know where you can start: educating. I always tell people my first investment was spending $100 to get into a group chat to learn about trading. If you don't take the risk to even start learning, how will you ever generate cash flow?
Thinking like an investor isn't just about money, it's about how you see money. When you shift your mindset, wealth becomes a game you know how to win.
Anything today, my whole thing with this was, I just want you guys to start thinking about how investors think. I want you to start Googling, YouTubing, start following people on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever your favorite social platform is, and see how people that are investing operate and move. What do they post? What are they talking about? And start just looking into it. Go on ChatGPT and say, what are good popular investments happening right now, right? The wealth follows other wealthy people. You know, there's a reason why everyone talks about Warren Buffett so much, because he is so wealthy. If his money's moving a certain way, you want to see like, why is he buying so much in this position? Why did he just pull out so much money out of his stocks and is sitting on cash? Because he probably knows something that's about to happen. So again, like, one thing that I did that changed my whole trajectory in my thought process was just educating myself. And I'm going to scream that until like you guys be like, all right, Brittany, we get it. We're going to educate. We're going to learn. We're going to start tapping into communities, because it really changed my life. Just reading a lot of books. If you guys want to know some of the books that I've read, I can definitely leave some in the comments or put it somewhere in my next video and just give you guys some recommendations. But just opening my mindset as a millennial. I'll even give you guys one. One of my favorite books that opened my mindset was called The Broke Millennial. You know, I am a millennial, and I feel like we live in a generation where people don't talk about saving money. They don't talk about buying homes. They don't talk about really investing. They just talk about spending. I feel like we live in that era, and I feel like our parents and our grandparents at this age, at our big age, had way more than a lot of us do. And I think mostly because just the world has changed. And if you want to change your life, my whole thing is, it starts with you. It starts with your education. It starts with the knowledge that you put yourself in and the people that you're around. And if you don't have resources of people, you need to start getting into rooms. I'm going to continue to always say that. Get into rooms, pay for the mastermind, attend the event, ask a question. No such thing as a dumb question. Get into comments, start asking people what other people are doing. You can start out with free communities or pay, like whatever the case may be. But the number one thing that changed my life was getting around other people that have a like-minded goal of, I don't want to have to work for the rest of my life, and I'm trying to figure out how to get what? The cash flow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. More importantly, just remember, cash flow goes wherever the wealth goes. I hope you guys subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.